Lucky they don't talk to me. Don't think I'd be very nice. That'll help. Explosions and shouts from outside the embrace. I wonder what's going on.
You have the firearms?
I do. Those...
Over half of UK businesses suffer an attack each year. CyberSmart's all-in-one platform...
De la Costine se văd palmieri pe tricoul tău. Ok. Bun. Te miști prea mult ca să-mi dau seama, îmi spune cineva. Scuze. Știu că mă mișc foarte mult. Sunt foarte agitat oricum, în emisie și în general în viața mea. Dar uite, acum stau pe loc frumos, se vede, ia aude. Bine, eu știu ce zici, de-aia mi-e simplu. Altcineva... niște ciocane. Nu sunt ciocane. Altcineva vede niște avioane mici. Iar cineva mi-arată...
Over half of UK businesses suffer an attack each year. CyberSmart's all-in-one platform helps any business reach the UK government standard for cybersecurity within 24 hours, easily and affordably.
Două răspunsuri corecte. Al treilea a venit acum. Gata! Să elucidăm misterul. Nu am nici semnul de lire, nici ancore, nici palmieri. Pe tricoul meu sunt niște ochelari. Ochelari mici, din aceea de să te uiți la eclipsă. Știți cum arătau ochelarii așa albi de carton o bucată verde, o lentilă verde, una roșie sau ceva de genul. Exact asta am, niște ochelari. Felicitări celor care au ghicit, că sunt 2-3 ascultători care au spus ochelari. Bravo! Ia uite, vin mesaje în continuare, elicoptere. Nu mai gata. Deci sunt niște ochelari. Vedeți? Hai că ne-am distrat. Rihanna, Better Have My Money, imediat apoi Mario Freșandra, Brațe Străine și Nia, Some Say. Pe Zoo.
Mesaj de interes public.
Educația copiilor noștri trebuie să meargă mai departe, însă au nevoie de noi pentru a avea grijă atât de ei cât și de ceilalți. Păstrăm distanța chiar și la joacă. Purtăm masca mereu ca niște supereroi. Respectăm indicațiile profesorilor. Rămânem acasă, dacă așa ne spune doctorul. O echipă puternică se formează de acasă, iar noi suntem alături de cei mici către un viitor mai bun. Campanie de informare susținută de guvern.
Bună seara! După cum bine știți, situația în acest moment în țară este gravă.
Incertă. Este incertă.
Incertă. Probabil ați aflat din presă că nu mai sunt locuri la ATI.
Nu mai sunt locuri pe paturi, mai avem locuri în picioare.
Că nu mai sunt locuri pe paturi, mai sunt locuri doar în picioare. E bine așa?
Perfect.
Perfect. Astfel că am luat decizia împreună cu domnii secretari de stat, Bogdan Despescu și Raed Arafat, ca începând de azi...
De mâine.
De azi, de mâine, nici cum nu-i bine. Așa face și la ședințe, domnule Arafat. Dar poftim, spuneți dumneavoastră că m-am săturat de privirea asta de tată care mă judecă tot timpul. Poftiți. Mii de scuze, în parte.
Se poate? Mulțumesc. Vă mulțumesc, domnule ministru. Bună seara. În mare parte, domnul Vela a expus toate deficiențele cu care ne confruntam. Dar eu am să aprofundez puțin. După cum bine știți, situația în acest moment în țară este gravă. Astfel că am luat decizia împreună cu domnul Despescu și domnul Vela ca de azi...
Incredibil, domnule Vela. Continuați, vă rog, continuați.
Ca de azi să reintroducem măsura statului acasă, la altcineva. Repet, acasă la altcineva. Am luat la cunoștință faptul că oamenii s-au plictisit să stea la casele lor, așa că am adoptat această soluție. E mai lejer din toate punctele de vedere să nu mai punem la socoteala ca acasă la altul nici nu-ți vine să faci curat. Practic va fi un fel de schimb de mame imobiliar. Vrem ca cetățenii să înțeleagă gravitatea situației și să nu mai primim plângeri de la diverse industrii, precum cele din partea Horeca, spre exemplu. De asta ne arde nou acum. Horeca, Sârbeca, să mai aștepte. La fel, se fac presiuni din partea artiștilor. Actorii nu joacă, vezi, Doamne. Adevărul este că nu vor să joace. Ați văzut că la fotbal s-a putut. Ar putea să joace și ei niște piese de teatru fără spectatori. Revenind la situația din spitale, am primit nenumărate întrebări referitoare la ATI. Ce înseamnă de fapt acest ATI despre care se tot vorbește? ATI este un acronim pentru cei ce nu cred în virus, pe care mulți dintre voi îl cunoașteți, dar pentru cei ce nu știu, ATI vine de la ate îmbolnăvit.
Mă, că se poate.
Date fiind resursele limitate din spitalele de stat din acest moment, am hotărât să mai adăugăm 3 litere la acest acronim și anume DLP. Deci de acum înainte vom avea ATI DLP, care vine de la ate îmbolnăvit, du-te la privat. În altă ordine de idei, mi-aș picioarele în foile astea de rahat. Nu traduce asta! Nu ți-a ajuns că ne-ai păcălit la interviul de angajare? Te-am întrebat ce studii ai. Ai făcut semne că nu poți să vorbești. După 2 săptămâni ai fost în vlog la Shelly, unde ce faceai? Vorbeai în gura. Nu traduce nici asta! Saturat. Și tu pune mâna și dăm foile, că de asta ești bun. Tu. Prizonat, dăm foile. Mai iertați, sunt sirian și când mă enervez, pur și simplu explodez. Revenind, 6 kg de cartofi, 4 legaturi de marar. No.
Scuze, lista de cumpărături a soției, îmi pare rău.
Revenind, săptămânile trecute, guvernul a accesat fonduri europene în valoare de 80 de miliarde de euro, care vor fi folosite în mare parte pentru combaterea virusului. 65 de miliarde de euro merg la Catedrala Mântuirii Neamului, pentru că ne punem speranțe foarte mari în ajutoarele venite din partea lui Dumnezeu. Sau ce mai rămâne după ce și ia domnul Patriarh Comision. €3 miliarde de euro vor fi alocate pentru achiziția de elicoptere Euro 5 aproape noi din Germania pentru serviciul de ambulanță. Elicopterele sunt în stare foarte bună, sau aș fac treaba, cum zic samsarii care le-a vândut. Au fost folosite de niște bătrânici din Germania ca să meargă la spital și înapoi. Alte 2 miliarde de euro vor fi folosite pentru cumpărarea de tuburi cu gel pentru frezele domnilor Ludovic Orban și Nelu Tataru. Pentru că frezele dânșilor inspiră rigurozitate. 3 miliarde de euro se duc către achiziția de ace și seringi second-hand din Belgia, multe dintre ele folosite doar o singură dată, deci nici nu se observă. Încă 2 miliarde de euro vor fi utilizate pentru a procura vopsea de fața de genul Carla's Dreams, pentru ca cetățenii să-și facă maști singuri, prin care să respire mai ușor. 2 miliarde de euro pentru construirea unui bunker subteran imposibil de penetrat și asigurarea hranei necesare pentru 200 de ani, bunker în care vor fi închiși Viorel și Vulpița pentru totdeauna.
Victorie!
Presupun că aici știți motivele, nu le mai enumăr. Au mai rămas 3 miliarde de euro, care nu au fost alocați încă, dar guvernul a promis că are grijă de ei până se hotărăște unde vor fi distribuite. Ca să parafrazăm o celebră expresie din trecut, dorm liniștit, guvernul are grijă de banii tăi. În ceea ce privește infrastructura din spitale, vă mulțumesc, la revedere! De câte ori să vă spun, domnule Despescu, nu mai rămâneți în speranța că vorbiți. V-am chemat că era cadru de 4 și se vede urât la televizor. Haideți, vă rog! Publicitate!
Ce-am avut și nu mai...
Take a look at this. Look at this door. This is the world's first 4-seater hypercar. Take a look at how massive this door is. It gives you access to the front seats and also the rear seats. So it's not like you need to push the front seat down in order to get in. You can open everything from the key, even the trunk and the front of the car. Look, in the front you can actually fit 1 full-size carry-on bag, 3 full-size carry-on bags. Look how deep that is. Look how deep that space is. This is a levitating 360 camera. Oh, oh.
Tricky.
Wow, there you go. Hey! Look at this. These things here. These are our little emergency hammers, so you can take them out and you can smash your way through the glass if you need to get out. Each passenger here gets a cup holder for warm drinks and cold drinks. You've also got wireless charging for your phone. You just put it here. All right, take a look at this camera here. In countries where this is allowed, this would stay as is, but if it's not yet allowed in the country where you live, they will just provide you with like a little attachable side view mirror. Look how this window is separated here. That is because only this portion of the window comes down. Come join me. Wow, imagine, just imagine. Look at this nice big screen. And do you know what I really like about this is? We're so used to looking this way to check what is happening in our side view mirror. They've placed it exactly in that position. Imagine this. Take a look at this.
No. Stop and come here.
What is this?
I've got you something.
Jesus, that's heavy.
Boy, that hurt.
Yep.
If that's not going to come down then, it's not going to. It's eventually going to come.
Oh, crap.
Whoa!
You okay? You all good?
Watch out!
Aș dori și o pizza, două pizza, nu, 3 pizza casei, dar să aibă și blad din ăla bun, Philadelphia, dacă se poate, blad din ăla. Da. Întrebare. Știți cumva dacă în seara asta livrează băiatul ăla frumos, un alt brunet? Da.
Did you purchase your Mavic Mini, or are you considering buying one to fly in British skies without the need to register? You need to watch this.
GeeksVana is your drone channel.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to GeeksVana. Today we're going to be talking about the DJI Mavic Mini and the new EASA regulations coming into effect as of the 1st of July 2020. These regulations are being adopted by the CAA, so they will absolutely impact where you can fly your Mavic Mini and the requirement to register this sub 250 gram drone. Since we started our series on the upcoming regulations back in the summer of 2019, there's a link in the description to that playlist. Many viewers have asked us about what type of drones will be flown in what upcoming airspace, and more recently, whether the DJI Mavic Mini will need to be registered under the UK DMARES scheme. Since its release, the Mavic Mini has proven itself a very popular little drone, with both newbie flyers and experienced pilots. The lightweight drone was perfectly positioned to take advantage of regulations around the world requiring registration of drones just above the Mini's weight. In fact, to continue the trend of getting the drone under the weight requirements, DJI released a special edition in Japan weighing just 199 grams. We made a video on this, the lightest Mavic Mini in the world. There's a link in the description. Although some feedback to the Mavic Mini has been a little lukewarm, with many bugs needing to be ironed out, the reception was on the whole extremely positive. Flying a drone with a decent quality camera in the same style as the larger drones from the Mavic series has given those wanting a taste of drone life an easy and affordable access to the hobby. As it stands today, as of February 2020, in the UK you do not need to register the drone to fly it without the sticker pack and prop cards, etc. Essentially, you can fly the basic drone unregistered as long as you keep it at the factory 249 grams. In recent conversations with the CAA directly and other experts within the UAV field, it has become apparent that the DJI Mavic Mini will require the owner to complete the UK DMARES scheme in order to fly the drone beyond the 1st of July 2020. This is because the camera on the drone. And although the CAA are discussing with the EASA other aspects of which exemptions and exceptions will apply, the requirement to register all drones with a camera is seen as a non-movable part of the regulations. There has also been recently a lot of discussion regarding whether the Mavic Mini will fall foul of the new weight regulations. Drones will now be classed in part on their maximum takeoff mass, so technically the Mavic Mini with prop cards on etc. will be over the 250 gram limit. However, as the drone class CE marking scheme has not yet been released, and the fact the Mavic Mini has a complex camera, the weight does not matter. The drone will require registering in the UK from the 1st of July. In terms of airspace and where you'll be able to fly your Mavic Mini once the new EASA regulations are in place, look out for our next video on the Mini, which will cover where you can fly it and how close you can fly it to people and buildings, etc. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and to get the latest drone news first, hit the notification bell.
Please remember to like and subscribe.
What's up, Peloton family?
You're crushing it. Keep it up.
You're gonna twist.
Woo!
Inhale, upward facing dog.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to GeeksVana. As you might remember, back in February of this year, we brought you a video explaining how some of the changes coming up to UK and EU drone regulations would mean you'll need to register your DJI Mavic Mini to fly it legally in the UK from the 1st of July 2020. There have been a few changes, including clarifications from the CAA and dates being moved around due to the COVID-19 crisis. So coming up today, I'll be giving you the updated information about how the new regulations will impact the popular Mavic Mini drone in particular, and when and if you need to register it. That's all coming up.
GeeksVana is your drone channel.
As you might be already aware, there are significant changes coming to UK drone regulations by way of CAP 1789 and the EASA regulations. This particular video is going to specifically discuss the Mavic Mini, so we won't be going into depth into these new rules as a whole, but there will be more videos on GeeksVana about the EASA regulations in general. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell to get the latest drone news first. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who's taken the time to watch my videos so far, and of course to those who took it a step further and subscribed. We're a small channel and your support makes all of this possible and worthwhile. So just very quickly, even though the UK is leaving the EU via Brexit, the CAA are still working towards adopting the new EASA drone regulations,
Are you a commercial or recreational drone operator looking for an insurance policy? We provide...
What's going on, guys? Billy here, and today we'll be going over how to use the 4 quick shots on the DJI Mavic Mini. These are Rocket, Droney, Helix, and Circle, all of which were first introduced with the DJI Spark, and then since then they've been implemented in pretty much every single drone that DJI has released. Now you can think of these quick shots as predetermined moves that the drone will make in order to shoot video for you. So there's 4 predetermined shots that the drone software will basically have the drone fly for you. It flies along the route, and then it gives you that shot that you can edit, that you can share at the end. Now here's the thing, I've been using these quick shots since they first came out on the DJI Spark, and they all feel played out. They all feel overused. I personally think that you can get great footage from the Mavic Mini just by flying yourself, by manually flying, and it gives you so many different possibilities, but quick shots are a great starting point if you're somebody who just picked up the Mavic Mini as your very first drone. So the way that quick shots works is fundamentally the same as it did with DJI's previous drones. To begin taking a quick shot, tap on the camera settings icon just above where the shutter and record button are. From here, select quick shots at the bottom and open a small menu where we can choose from Droney, Rocket, Circle, and Helix. We can then further customize the distance the drone will fly during said quick shot with a maximum of 120 feet, which really isn't that far at all. Now, despite Active Track not being a standalone mode that can be used within the Mavic Mini, it still uses Active Track in order to track the selected subject during the quick shot. This selection can be done easily by tapping on the green point that automatically finds your subject, or if that isn't showing, then you can manually drag a box around your subject in order to select what your quick shot will follow. DJI has made some serious improvements to their tracking software, as we see on their newest version of Active Track 2.0, with their newest drones like the Mavic 2 Pro, and being able to just simply select your subject by tapping on the screen instead of having to find that person and then drag a box over them just makes shooting quick shots so much easier. Honestly, you can get this drone up in the air and take a couple of really great shots in under 30 seconds just because of how easy they make it with the software. So the first quick shot that I want to take a look at here is Droney, which simultaneously flies up and backwards with a slight gimbal pitch downwards to reveal the background behind your subject. You have the option of changing the distance to 80 feet, 100 feet, or 120 feet, and once the subject has been selected, you can tap on Start on the right side of the screen and watch as the drone embarks backwards as its altitude also increases. Like with these other quick shots, you really have to be aware of your surroundings because this drone does not have obstacle avoidance, and while the drone is flying by itself in any of these quick shots, it could potentially crash if you aren't aware of the different objects that are around you. Now, once the Droney quick shot has been completed, the recording will stop and it will begin to fly back towards you, ultimately coming to a hover right where it started. I should also mention that the drone begins recording automatically for you as soon as you press on start, so it captures the entire length, the entire duration of the quick shot that you're shooting. And yes, this is great so that you don't accidentally miss the shot, but I wish that you could begin recording before the quick shot even started, and then you could end as soon as the quick shot stopped, because sometimes it comes to like an abrupt end and there's sort of like a gimbal twitch. At least that's some of the time. Another thing that I have a problem with, and you'll see throughout this entire video, is that the quick shots are very limited in terms of their distance. 120 feet is the furthest that we can fly, whereas if we look at something like the original Mavic Pro, the one that came out over 2 years ago, it has a max distance when using specific quick shots of up to 200 meters or 656 feet. This is about 5 times that of the Mavic Mini, and it makes for much better shots. Now, I don't know if DJI decided to limit the distance because of the size of this drone, but I think it's certainly capable of flying at least 600 feet away, and it's a real shame that the quick shots are this severely limited. Moving on, the next quick shot that we have available is Rocket, which starts out in front of the subject and then slowly increases its altitude while moving forward and pitching the gimbal downward, coming right above the subject that you've selected. This has never really been one of my favorites, and especially now that we can only fly up to 120 feet high, you don't get that much room to reveal all that much when you're using this quick shot. Just like the Droney quick shot, the Mavic Mini will fly back down and hover in the spot that you started from once it's done shooting, which is definitely a great convenience feature. It's not that I necessarily don't like the Rocket quick shot. It's definitely something that can be cool and something that can be used, but there's 2 things that limit it in my opinion. First of all, I think that it's just a little bit boring. But second of all, the drone can only fly 120 feet high. So I would say if you want to use and if you want to replicate a shot like the Rocket Quick Shot, see how it's done a couple of times and then try to do it on your own. Fly the drone straight upwards above the subject you're trying to shoot, because you can get so much more height out of your drone rather than the 120 feet that the Rocket Quick Shot gives you. Our second to last quick shot that we'll be taking a look at is Circle, which pretty much does what it says. It flies a circle around your subject. Now, something interesting to note about this quick shot is that you can manually set the distance from the subject at which you want to orbit. So while you can't change the distance right within the app, you can back further away from the subject and start the quick shot whenever you're ready. I noticed though that 50 feet seems to be the limit, as if I went any further, the drone would lose sight of me, the subject, so it wouldn't have a reference point to track. Something to note is that when you increase this distance, the drone seems to fly faster to complete that orbit in the same amount of time, no matter what distance you're at, and it's pretty cool to see this thing zip around when you're shooting from further away. You also have the option of changing the direction at which the drone flies, so clockwise or counterclockwise, and this can be changed by selecting the different arrows that appear towards the bottom half of the screen in the middle when you're setting up this quick shot. Now moving on, the final quick shot that we have available to use here on the Mavic Mini is Helix, which is by far my favorite out of all four of them. It's the most dynamic as the drone flies backwards, upwards, it rotates around the subject, and it pitches the gimbal down slightly, so you really have 4 different levels of movement here. Within the app, we can select a distance of 40 feet, 60 feet, 80 feet, 100 feet, and 120 feet, and you can even select which way you want the drone to fly, just like with Circle, so either clockwise or counterclockwise. Out of all of the quick shots, this is the one that I would say you have to be the most careful using because of all the different elements of movement. You're going up, you're going back, and you're moving from side to side. Regardless though, like I said, this is my favorite quick shot, and I'd highly recommend checking it out as long as you've got the room to perform it. Now there are theoretically 2 different quick shots that are available within DJI's newer drones like the Mavic Mini as well as the Mavic 2 series. These are Boomerang and Asteroid. They were first introduced with the Mavic Air, and it would have been great if we saw both of those put into the Mavic Mini, but unfortunately they aren't here yet. We only have 4, Droney, Helix, Rocket, and Circle. The reason I don't think we can do a quick shot such as, say, Asteroid is because at the end it ends with a 360 panorama, and this drone is not able to take panorama. So for some reason, I feel like there is a disconnect there. Now there could be a future firmware update where they actually introduce new features to the Mavic Mini. They could introduce some new quick shots. So this is the full guide to all 4 quick shots that came originally with the Mavic Mini, but if they do implement some update and they introduce new quick shots, I'm sure I've covered that, so check for a link down in the description. Anyway guys, it's not that I don't hate quick shots, I just think you can get much better results if you fly manually, so go ahead and check out those quick shots if the Mavic Mini is your very first drone. I highly recommend checking it out as long as you've got the room to perform it. Now there are theoretically 2 different quick shots that are available for using because of all the different elements of movement, so either clockwise or counterclockwise. Out of all of the quick shots, this is the one that I would say you have to be the most careful using because of all the different elements of movement. You're moving from side to side. Regardless though, like I said, this is my favorite quick shot, and I'd highly recommend checking it out as long as you've got the room to perform it. Now there are theoretically 2 different quick of the subject and then slowly increases its altitude while moving forward and pitching the gimbal downward, coming right above the subject that you've selected. This has never really been one of my favorites, and especially now that we can only fly up to 120 feet high, you don't get that much room to reveal all that much when you're using this quick shot. Just like the Droney quick shot, the Mavic Mini will fly back down and hover in the spot that you started from once it's done shooting, which is definitely a great convenience feature. It's not that I necessarily don't like the Rocket quick shot, it's definitely something that can be cool and something that can be used.
Explosions and shouts beyond the embrace. Is that the trouble you were talking about?
You will know soon enough. Until then, we wait for dark.
Wait for dark? Is something else bothering you?
No, I'm fine.
I don't understand. Those explosions are outside the embrace. What can we do from in here?
The lesson will be taught in due time, Aloy. Till then, we wait.
Are you worrying about what happens after the proving?
What happens is clear. You will be accepted as one of the tribe, and I will still be an outcast. To be shunned.
Rost, even if the tribe accepts me, I won't...
There is much to do, Aloy. We'll discuss this later.
Okay. I saw Karst and got that tripcaster I was talking about.
I hate to think what that outlawed trader charged for a weapon of that make.
It wasn't cheap, but the caster is worth it.
Perhaps. You'll know it's worth soon enough.
Still a while to go before dark. I guess I'll get some rest.
Good idea. There'll be no time for sleep tonight.
Opening a gate for an outcast?
Some who are shunned reaped honor before disgrace.
So much for tribal law.
I spoke to no one, and now we must both keep silent, for we are outside of the embrace. These are the true wilds, Aloy, with threats unlike any you have ever faced.
That carcass. What sort of beast was that?
The tribe calls it a sawtooth, and it's something new. Something angry. Since they first started appearing 10 years ago, they have killed many braves.
Yeah.
Follow the path. It's not far.
That cabin. What happened to it?
A machine, that's what.
What sort of machine does that? I'll watch your carcass. I'll harvest the parts.
Watch your surroundings.
Braves hunt this machine.
They did. The kills we bastard theirs. Tomorrow, they will hunt again.
They won't need to. This machine will be my kill.
Or your death, if you're not careful.
entire lodge wrecked by sawtooths? How many were there?
I didn't bring you here to answer questions, Aloy. I brought you here to deal with that.
Huge. How do you defeat it?
That will be for you to decide. This hunt is yours to make, Aloy. Yours alone. No matter what happens, I will not intervene. You understand? You are on your own.
I should stay out of sight. I can use the tall grass to approach. Okay, let's see. Where can I place my traps? Do what I have to. It's on me.
Why did I bring you here?
Not to answer questions.
Aloy.
Survival requires perfection. It was a test to hone my skills against a dangerous new machine.
No. Follow. These are Nora hunting lands. They must be protected. If you hadn't destroyed the Sawtooth, how many Braves might it have killed or injured tomorrow? The lesson lives within the question, Aloy. For years, you've trained to win the proving, but only for yourself. As a Brave, it will be your duty to fight for your tribe.
My tribe? You said I wouldn't need them.
But I never said the tribe wouldn't need you. The strength to stand alone, Aloy, is the strength to make a stand. To serve a purpose greater than yourself. That is the lesson you must learn. And remember it. After the proving, and after I'm gone. We're finished here. Follow. Dawn has passed. This will be your last day in the Embrace as an outcast. Use the time to set your mind on the challenges before you. When it is time for you to go to Mother's Heart, I'll be waiting for you along the way.
I understand the final lesson, Rost.
Do you?
But if I'm going to stand for something, it'll have to be something I believe in.
Then I hope you find it, Aloy. I hope you do.
I'll go back to the cabin with you.
I'm not heading there just yet. I have other plans.
Oh. Such as?
I'll be waiting for you when it is time.
I'll see you at Mother's Heart then.
You will.
So much for being careful. They're scary for me.